Metal Nation, it is I, Tim, from Burning Shadows, which is US Power Metal, and Eisenmore, which is dual violin folk metal band, and joining me, of course, is Dave from said bands, but he plays a different instrument.
Same instrument in each, different instrument than Tim.
Yes, you're right. And you're here to hear metal promo reviews. So we're going to read metal promos and decide how many ears we will be devoting to whatever is being promoted. So here we go. Ophidian Forest. Tales of Doom and Ignorance. All right. Artist, okay. Ophidian Forest. Release is Tales of Doom and Ignorance. Subcontinental Extreme is the label. Out July 1st, Canada Day. Formerly right. Dominion Day for our older listeners.
That's right. I was corrected very rudely one year when I called it Dominion Day.
Yeah, just say you don't recognize Canada's independence. and you're good to go. Formats, digitals, of course, CD, of course, and cassette. When I tell you the genre, you'll go, of course. It's progressive black metal.
Naturally, they have a cassette.
Not from Canada, though. They are from the United States. So before I read the promo, I'm just going to pull up their metal archives quick. All right, they are from... What? This says Netherlands/San Francisco. What?
I love it. The classic, the Pyrenees, they were like Denmark/Northern Virginia for a while, weren't they?
Yeah, I think they were. And this says they are pagan black metal, not progressive black metal. Lyrical themes, history, mythology, mysticism, nature. And update your label. Because you got a different label on Metal Archives. All right, here we go. Track list. Inundation. Plagues. Radiation. Earth Force. Drought. Of course, they're from California. Of course, they're singing about a drought. All right, so there's only 5 tracks. You want to take a guess at the running time?
If it's got to be more than like 55 minutes.
Oh, you're very, very close. It is 51 minutes and 55 seconds.
That's
very
promising.
Good. You get a ding for that. All right.
Thank you.
Lineup. Amalgamoth. Lyrics, vocals, and keys. DCRF. Bass. Luctus. Guitar. Otrabor. Drums. Here we go. Ophidian Force is a transatlantic progressive black metal band that was formed in 2006 and have released 4 full-length albums and 2 split releases with other associated acts. Earlier albums were more raw, chaotic, and lo-fi, but since 2018's Fourth, spelled 4RTH, for the album Votive, nice. Capital I, capital V, they presented both a lineup change as well as a change of musical direction, much to their benefit. Something pretty black metal about shitting on your former members, but the current members of Ophidian Forest are located in the United States and the Netherlands. Tales of Doom and Ignorance is the band's 5th album. These recordings were made between 2016 and 2020. They're on the Burning Shadows recording time schedule, apparently. And were finally mixed by Luctus, guitar, and mastered by Jack Shirley at the Atomic Garden in Oakland, California. They crossed the bridge. They present more elaborate and musically progressive ideas in the forward-thinking black metal territory, which will appeal to fans of early Psy, Hail Spirit Noir, or early Lunar Aurora. Further aiding their new effort is the advanced production, the best that the band has seen till date. As per tradition, Amalgamoth is behind the vocals, lyrics, and atmospheres that you hear on this album alongside Luctus on guitar and mix, or Tabor on drums, and a final appearance of DCRF on bass. The album's remarkable artwork is by the hand of Czech artist Václav Treyer. The art is in here. We'll get to that. And his link is droned.eu. Quote, our 5th album is called Tales of Doom and Ignorance. I write it shorthand as TODAI, which spells today, If
Nice.
you were spelling it like an anime fanboy. And it deals with disaster and cataclysm in the past and in the future, in reality and in mythology. That's the doom part. The ignorance part directly relates to Pandora's trait of curiosity, which also implies the inability of humanity to oversee the consequences of meddling with the unknown. A never-ending cycle of disasters is part of our existence as a species, and when searching for a subject to write about, I was reading somewhere how evolution is defined by the periods between mass extinction events. There have been 5 such events, and since I was working with 5 pieces of music, it clicked with me instantly. The previous albums of Ophidian Forest were centered around history, mythology, and mysticism, so that was the direction I was heading. End quote. Amalgama 2021. And it's just repeating a bunch of stuff. The drums were recorded in 2016, and then I guess they sat it on the shelf for a couple years, and then recorded the keys in 2018 and 19, then guitars and bass in 2020, and then mixed and mastered in November 2020. Bandcamp, ophidianforest.bandcamp.com. The artwork looks kind of like it reminds me of something. Which Slayer album does that look like? It's got the painting and the...
Yeah. I can't put my finger on it either, but it's got like that late 90s, very early 2000s extreme metal look.
Yes, and then what else? Oh, I guess the CD's a digipack. They got a photo of that with the booklet taken out. And then there is a photo. All right. I don't even know how to describe this photo. So it's
wow, he's got the same gong as I do.
Yes, but it's
much more metal.
Yeah, well, like picture a gong in your head. All right, now shrink it. That's the gong that's in this photo. It's a person, but like they're covered in a black shroud and they're in an empty room with various like musical instruments on the wall.
But like in the style of like a normal black metal band would have like weapons where those musical instruments are in their photos. Like this shrouded individual would be in front of swords and hammers and shit. But no, it's a violin, bow, and assorted metal percussion instruments.
Yeah, I mean, mallet's, a type of hammer. That almost works.
Yeah. You're telling the right guy. You're right.
Yep. All right. So what do you got on this one?
I mean, if I were younger, I would be all about this because it looks cool. I love the logo, it's like the most coherent black metal logo I've ever seen. It's obscure enough to be hard to read, but it is legible and it looks like a fucking forest. So A+ on the logo. But I have learned that any black metal band that has spikes that long in their gauntlets is not something that I have the tolerance for. Like I'm going to give this 1 ear because they said that it's the best they've ever sounded from a production perspective. And based on what I'm looking at, art-wise, that can only be an improvement, but it's hard to know how much. So this gets 1 ear from me. I like the theme of the cataclysmic extinction events. It's very topical, I think.
Extinction event. Yeah. And
one whole ear.
Yeah, I'm also going to give it an ear because I like long songs, and all those songs are unnecessarily long. So I'm going to, I'll give it a shot and see if it's long in a good way or in a bad way. That's my plan.
There we go.
All right, next up. Fragmentum, Masters of Perplexity, melodic dark metal from Belgium.
Dark metal,
yes.
Yeah.
All right, well, this came out April 15th, 2021. I don't know, I just got it today, so...
All right.
Yeah, melodic format, digital label, self-released. Track list. Origination of mankind, prophecy of the infinite, victim of the gods, mountain of the dead, vision of the snake, clash of the clans, feast of the flesh, screechings of the sacrifice, trick of the twins, dwelling of the ghosts, welcome to the afterlife, secrets of the stones. I like how it's all noun of the nouns.
Very
Lineup.
coherent.
Gunnar Nopens, mainly rhythm guitar, backing vocals, music writing, and Jan Brueggemann, lead guitar, vocals, songwriting, and guest musicians, which are not listed here, just as guest musicians.
Okay.
Masters of Perplexity is a concept album based on Mayan history, as one of us became intrigued by them visiting Copan. Copan? I don't know where that is, but
I'm going to have to.
I'm guessing it's
Yes.
in Mayan territory. All right.
Yes.
Lyrics deal with the creation of men along with the Quiche Mayan tribe as described in the Popol Vuh, V-U-H, but change over to mysterious ways of dying, being sacrificed, clan wars, etc. Musically, we want to find a good balance between the melodic parts of creating an atmosphere and the more heavy headbang riffs. Reflecting this in our vocals, we go from clean parts to sing-along with to the more deep grunts for most of the verses. For fans of Dark Tranquility, Arch Enemy, Hypocrisy, misspelled hypocrisy. It's okay.
Oh boy.
Insomnium, Opeth, Dream Theater, Depeche Mode, In Flames. It's very important that you put what year of In Flames, please. Amorphous and November's Doom.
If I can cut in, I think he specifies it quite nicely by putting them next to Depeche Mode, which says basically what was the year that they covered Everything Counts.
I don't know, but yeah, good point. Let's see, recorded at Z Underground Studios, all songs/lyrics written by Jan Brueggemann and Gunnar Nopens. Gear used. I remember back in the day we used to list our gear. Let's see what they got. Logic Pro X, Kemper amps, Antelope audio interface, SSD drums. My advice, take it or leave it, is don't put that down there unless they're paying you to.
Unless that stuff is coming for free to your door.
I mean, Kemper amps, there's like $4,000 a piece. Anyway.
My goodness.
That's fragmentum.bandcamp.com. That's a cool cover and a good logo for that matter. So it's a Mayan warrior and he's looking, he's looking to the right.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it justice. He looks,
it's like, it's a majestic profile of tattooed warrior, stylized hair, and some skulls on spears.
Yeah, there's
in the
skulls
background,
in the
and like smoke around his head. It's pretty rad.
Their logo is like kind of block text, but stylized with some. They're not really serifs, but it's pointy, and then they got some embellishments on it.
Yeah,
it looks
like the
good.
SimForce logo.
And then the band picture, it would come back up, is it's two guys in front of like a Mayan artwork background. It's the best way to describe that. So yeah, so some Belgians talking about Mayans. So what do you got? Yeah. And by the way, this looks like if you ask me if these two guys knew each other just based on the picture, hey, do these two guys know each other? I'd say no way.
Yeah, they met at the photo shoot.
Right. I was like, one works at a cafe and the other works in a steel mill.
Right. Like, I mean, okay, all right. They're from in East Flanders. That makes a difference.
Stupid Flanders.
What? No, non-trademarked Simpsons reference sounds that
No, do I have any
are free.
Simpsons on the soundboard? That is a very good question. I mean, I got Prices Right. I got plenty of these.
Yeah.
So,
No. All right. Okay. So
yeah,
yes.
I will add some Simpsons. So I got to add some Simpsons and some more studio audience things.
Yeah, enthusiastic studio audiences.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to give this at least an year and a half, possibly even 2 years, because there's a lot of stuff here that speaks to me. One, they look like they are. I don't mean to judge a book by its cover, but these dudes appear to be, like some of the safest metalheads that we have seen pictures of in any of the reviews that we've done thus far. And that bodes well for progressive, dark, melodic death metal, like whatever number of genres we're going to use to describe these guys.
So, let me interject.
Yeah.
Metal Archives has them as melodic death metal. So there you go.
Right.
And,
sorry.
and they like hypocrisy. So, that's all good stuff.
And are citing Opeth and Insomnium and Dark Tranquility, which is about as foundational as it gets for my preferred flavor of melodic death metal. So I like this. I like the way it sounds. Belgium is extremely appealing because Belgium is essentially, not to be reductive, a beautiful little mix of France and Germany. And when it comes to melodic death metal about Mayan mythology, I want it, if it's not coming from Central America, to be coming from Belgium. Yeah. So, year and a half.
Yeah, I feel like I should disagree with you just to
Spice it up.
add some tension, but instead I'm not. I'm gonna agree with you. I want to check this out. They checked a lot of boxes for me, and I think it really all hinges on that. Well, two things. They listed that they have guest musicians, right? So I'm worried the guitarists wrote the drum parts and said, "Here, play this." That makes me a little wary because guitarists don't know what they're doing when they write drum parts. So,
Sometimes no.
yeah, so that's one cause for worry, and another cause for worry is this In Flames, So
Yeah, that's not nearly specific enough.
yeah, so that's gonna knock it down from 2 full ears to 1.5 ears, but it's I'm still gonna check it out. There was one more. Here it is. Extinguish the Sun.
All right.
This one will be interesting. Release title, Transformations. Self-released. Out June 17th, 2022. Heavy metal, alt metal, progressive. Country, United States. I'm going to pause here. Extinguish the Sun. Everyone loves listening to me type.
Oh, yes.
Is this the same band?
If we're looking at Metal Archives, it doesn't appear to be.
All right, well, let's go to members. Jamie Hardy. He is not listed here, so this is probably a different band.
This is... What's the name of the album?
Why, it's Transformations. All right. Jeremy Miller vocals. Daniel Edmonds on bass, and we are being joined by Mark. Also
Good.
of Eisenmore fame. And
Heavens.
any minute now. Anyway.
Any minute now.
Jeremy Thompson on guitar. Did I say Daniel Edmonds on bass? Because if I didn't,
I heard a
did
Daniel
now.
Edmonds.
Michael Morley on drums, Nick Groby on guitar. Extinguish the Sun, second full-length album, Transformations, will be released June 17th. Was released. The album is 9 songs spanning from heavy guitar-driven songs to very dynamic, multi-layered songs, all with big production, a big rhythm section, and great vocals for fans of newer Mastodon, Baroness, Thrice, Torch. Recorded by Drew Widolf, mixed and mastered by Riccardo Pazzini at Studio 73 in Ravenna, Italy, even though they're from the US. All music written and performed by Extinguish the Sun 2022. So the artwork looks like, when like you're watching something and it zooms down to the molecular level on like a synapse or something, that's what it looks like, but it also kind of looks like it's spacey.
Yeah. Or potentially like colloidally organic.
Yeah, and then their logo is
kind of organic.
Yeah, and that was Mark, by the way. Their logo is just an all capital font with serifs, and then their band picture is a bunch of guys, 5 guys, and they're all wearing hats, and there are many, many beards, and there are many, many shirts, one of which is a ghost shirt, one is a refused shirt, and one is a tie-dye shirt.
Nice. I love it. I love it. I like the diversity.
Good hat diversity, too.
I bet that's the bassist. If I had to guess, I'd say the bassist is wearing the tie-dye shirt. So let me know if I'm right. Write to us, please, Extinguish the Sun. Tell me who's wearing that shirt. I gotta know.
So you said the blurb said that it's for fans of newer Mastodon, Baroness, and the third one's not relevant to this. Do they mean newer Mastodon and newer Baroness?
So it specifically says for fans of newer Mastodon, comma, Baroness, comma. Right, so I think it's just newer Mastodon.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll start for this one. This is not my thing. I'm sure it's someone's thing, but yeah, it's probably not my thing. But I don't know. Big production, big rhythm section. Some Italian guy did it. Yeah. I'm a little intrigued. I will give it 3/4 of one ear.
Yeah, that's
I will check it out. I will check it out. But I'm probably going to listen to the other 2 first. How about that?
I'm glad you touched on the big production, because I like, and maybe this is just your inflection when you were reading it, but like, I like how they're advertising it almost as though like it's a theater launch. Like, come see Extinguish the Sun. It's big production. They got a big rhythm section. So I like this. I agree that like the small amount of Mastodon and Baroness I have heard has been when I'm old and stuck in my ways and not interested in listening to new music. So I can't really say how musically it would appeal to me. But yeah, that big production and that big rhythm section. I think this is going to be probably my most listened to metal promos evening yet. I'm going to give it yet another full ear.
Wow.
To see whether our tie-dyed bass playing friend actually plays bass.
You are very giving today. You're usually very
it's usually
you're the tough one usually. Mark, are you going to listen to this? If so, what percentage of your 2 ears are you going to use to listen to it?
So I would definitely throw this 1 ear, because I'm interested to see if they would pick the parts of Mastodon and the parts of Baroness's career that I like, and not the parts that I hate.
Interesting. Oh, that is...
Because there's been some big stylistic changes in both of those bands.
This is relevant to the last band we were discussing, too. Our friends... I've already forgotten.
Why, you must be talking about Fragmentum.
I am.
And they mentioned In Flames as one of their fans of. Yeah, it's like, you gotta be more specific.
Opeth is doing 70s roots rock now. Like, tell me, what is that what you mean? Or do you mean like Blackwater Park, or do you mean Morning Rise? Which is
We're influenced specifically by the acoustic version of Demons of the Fall.
Go
I
for
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that'd be
turned
good.
into-
That'd be good.
Yeah, that's the concept for Eisenless, essentially.
Mark, since you're here, did you want to give your one sentence review of the Heavy Baby Sea Slugs release?
Yeah. I liked it. It is
That's all I needed. You can stop there if you
I
want.
liked it.
perfect. I just thought it was really funny that you got promo from a band whose 7-inch I picked up in a record store like 5 years ago.
Yep. Well,
Wow.
you know,
I was wondering why you needed the comment.
they come to me, and I read them, and that's usually the end of it. But Mark decided to review it, so there you go.
It's got some like black metal and it's got some crunchy sludge.
Dave, can you guess where Heavy Baby Sea Slugs is from? Okay, they are American.
They're American. Okay, all right. Do you want me to guess the state? Oh my god, that's going to be difficult.
Well,
Heavy Baby.
I think. Oh, and they're not on Metal Archives, so that's another
California.
clue. That's a big clue, and I feel like that should narrow it down to a handful of cities.
They're not on Metal Archive, so that should narrow it down to a couple of cities.
Are you saying there are cities that are being excluded geographically from Metal Archives?
Not quite. All right, what if I gave you a choice?
I will go in for a 50-50. Let's do it.
I'll give you 3 choices.
I'll go in for whatever odds you want.
San Francisco, Austin, Texas, Portland. that was Maine. That was my Maine.
Yeah, that was
accent.
Maine.
Okay, how about Portland, Maine, or Portland, Oregon?
I guess
See,
I guess Portland, Oregon.
Do you
I was going to say
understand now?
Austin. Yes, it seems sufficiently weird.
Well, you should guess again, because the correct answer was, in fact, yeah, that's you being wrong. Sorry, I was just late on it. It was Austin.
Oh.
When I learned that, I'm like, of course they're from Austin. Well, they're from Denton, which I believe is near Austin. Hang on.
Denton, Texas. Isn't that where King lives?
I think it's pronounced Denton. Let's see. If it was in Maryland, it'd be Denton. Denton. Oh, it's not Austin. Okay. Well, you know what? Yeah, don't listen to me when it comes to Texas geography. Denton is northwest
It's probably
of
like
Dallas.
it's probably like what, 20 minutes away?
Yeah,
So now
something
I'm
like
looking
that.
for Austin. Oh, Austin is several hours south. Okay, well,
Somewhat far, yeah.
well, maybe I'll cut this out, but I probably won't.
Maybe not. We should leave it in.
All right, until next time, keep it geographically metal. Usually when Matt's here, he says something funny, but Matt's not here. I mean, right now,
Yeah, what is he doing?
during the rollout. I don't